Hey, how's everybody doing? I wanted you all to focus your attention on this texture here and that texture there. What's the obvious difference? Alright, let's zoom out and tell me what you notice. Now, it's two different textures separating this yellow line so we can see what this does. So far away, they both look fine. There's not any real problems. Now, as we get closer, keep your eye on the left, the detail levels. Alright, now we'll zoom out, keep your eye on the left. Alright, now look at the right, in that area there. And we zoom in, what do you see? It didn't get any more detailed. Now looking at it again here, we'll zoom out. It looks alright far away, but up close it doesn't look good. So what this is, the one on the right is only using a base color, right? It isn't using a macro map or a detail map. It's just using a base color. Now the other one here, this one, is using a macro and a detail. Now I can temporarily just turn off the detail one by putting a 0 in the base color here and saving changes, and doing the same thing with the macro, putting a 0 there. Now look what happens over here when we zoom away, focusing your eye here, and zoom up close. Alright, now staying this close, look what the macro map does. I'm just doing half opacity because I don't want to have it too strong. Right? Now that's scaled at 2, and that one's also scaled at 2. But now let's put the detail. I'll put half opacity for it, so it'll be a blend of these two. Now you can see the changes. Now if I use full opacity for the detail map, now if I turn off the base map by just deleting it, and we only look at the macro and details by themselves. If I turn on just the detail map, do you see how this very gray looking texture here, well, what this used to be was this. Now you can't use it that strong of a color and contrast. You have to do a high pass filter. Now the way I did the high pass filter in here, Photoshop has it too, by the way. I increased the standard deviation, so that it's not too muted. It's got some detail. But now look what happens if I say use it like that instead. Let's call this one 4. Oh, and also, mind you, the resolution's 1024 about 1024. If you look at the macro and detail settings here in the terrain material library here, You see they are set to 1024 by 1024, so that means that those macro and details have to be 1024. And the base texture, which is the one that we removed a minute ago, that's set to 2048 by 2048. Now, different maps use different ones. Like, for example, Johnson Valley uses a 4K and then uses 1K for the macro and detail. So that's something to keep in mind, because if you put the wrong resolution, it'll be absolutely black with nothing on it. So, back to this. So this is what the detail map brings to the table, right? Now let's replace that one with the one that's obviously not got the high pass filter and put it by itself. And you see what that did. You can think of the detail in the macro as well, let me show you. We'll make a new background image. So we can put this on the top. Now we'll change the mode so this is drawing as a multiply. Or is it, no, I'm sorry. It's a, which one is it? Damn it, I forgot. Hard light. That's it. Hard light. So even though that's getting saved, it's presenting it as a hard light. Right? See? And the same thing would go for the macro. If you're going to use a macro texture, and you used a full, a non-high pass filter one. I turned off the detail, by the way. Oops, I forgot to turn on the macro. So same thing. And seeing if they're both the same, then it's going to be like, well, it'd be like having two layers of this, basically. Because that's essentially what it is. Like, I'll rename this to detail. And I'll rename the other one to macro. So, what I'm doing here with this macro strength, this 1.0 on the detail and the macro here, what I'm basically doing when I say 0.5 is more or less changing the opacity of the macro to half opacity. Turning it all the way down to 0, turning the detail all the way down to 0, well, it's going to be black. If I did that. See? Now don't worry about the second number. This is the far away, most farthest away point. We're out up close, zoomed in, so we're only looking at the zoomed in points. Alright, so let's bring back our colorful base color. The one that's basically what you see when you're far away. Now you see it's 2048 by 2048. That's what this is set to. It's got to be that. So we got these two macro and details zeroed out. Let's just see our base texture. Now the base texture is what you see when you are, let's paint all this by the way so it's all the same. It's what you see when you're far away, right? But as you get up closer, you want it to change details, you're going to need a macro and a detail, or just one or the other. But remember, you can't use it at that type of opacity. If you do, you got to only use 10% of it, so it's not too. Painting the wrong one. We're looking at the wrong one, folks. Sorry about that. Back to. They both look similar, I know. Now this is the one we're dealing with here. I have two different ones. So, like I said, what you see when you're far away can also be scaled. which has nothing to do with the resolution that's set. It's just the way it's scaling the texture. But you wouldn't want to do that because that looks like shit. You just want it to be what you see when you're a certain distance away. So to blend in so that you can have the different ones, like I said, you can't have that type of saturation and whatnot and contrast. But if you did want to use it, you could do 0.1 or 0.05 and it would give you a hint of it. But you're really not getting the benefit of it because you don't really see it. If we remove this one and just look at 1%, you can see it doesn't make a whole lot of difference by itself at just 1%. So it's kind of counterintuitive. It doesn't really make sense to use it like that. So to use it, let's put this one back. I'll show you how you got to do it. Now this is just the way I do it. It may not be the best way to do it, but this is what worked for me. Alright, so we got this one by itself and the macro and detail are not being used. Now let's go back to our photo editor and let's go back in time. Actually, I already have it saved. I already have it saved where I did that, but I'll show you what I did. Put that back on normal. So I took this, went to filters, high pass, did a high pass. I tweaked it a little more than the default settings, but that's essentially what I did. Let me see if I can get this a better way to show you by having let's try this here. Maybe this can help illustrate it. I don't know that it will. If it doesn't, then just ignore this part. I'm not editing this at all. Alright, macro detail. Alright, these are hard lights. Now let's add the base texture. This isn't exactly a good way of doing this as far as how it's going to be exactly, but it kind of give you an idea anyway. Give you a rough idea. Alright, so this is normal. These two are set to hard light, but we need to put that on the bottom. Oh, I've got to change the opacity. Didn't think, no, that did not really give us what it was I was going for. Let me see if I can well, I guess that is right, isn't it? Maybe it is. I don't know. I may be thinking too much about it. I don't usually set these things like this because I don't use them like this. I was just trying to give you an idea how they all work together. But I think I done confused everyone more than I helped with this last segment here, so just ignore this part. In fact, I'm going to make a footnote to ignore that part. Yeah, 'cause that didn't help. That just hell, I confused my damn self with that one. Yeah, so don't worry about that. Just, um, you do want to have those though, so that they're not like that. And you might say, well, what's the difference between base 4, base 3? I don't know if you can tell, but they're basically the same texture. I just took them in different places. Um, I basically just took this image, took like one little square from it, and tiled seamless, and then another part of it, like like not that, where's it at? Yeah, like this section. So I made a little small tile seamless of one square from one of them and one square from the other one. Now, really the best thing would have been if I got my damn camera zoomed all the way up to the damn dirt so that the dirt's so close you just see the little grains in it. Well, that would actually be what the detail map would be, but I'm not doing all that. So, I think that's about it. Let's see, is there anything else? Now, the whole point of making this thing was, well, because you have these roads that they break, you got the dirt that's under it. You know, I was gonna make another texture that I'll try to make one of like broke broke road. If you want to hang around, I'll see if I can do it. Just maybe that'll help and give you an idea how to do these things a little differently than what you might be doing them. So let's make a broke road texture. Let's find the edge of the road that's broke. Like this here. And let's make a material out of that. Now already somewhere I already have that, or I done edited all that and I made a big ass texture from that. But what happened to it? Okay, I think I know where it's at. If I still got it. Yeah. Yep, I do. Goodness. Thank goodness. Alright, let's open that. And you'll see what I'm talking about, what I did. See, I just wanted to make a texture out of that, but I wanted it to have like a tile seamless thing. So, if I want to make a new texture, in here, we need to do new texture. I'll just call this broke road. And yeah, it would be asphalt. I'll add the material. Now, the base texture is what we need to start with. It's not going to look great. Yeah, that's not going to look good. I need to do a little better than that. Let's do it like this. Let's see what kind of trickery we can pull off to make a little bit go a long way. Dog it. Hit the wrong key. Sometimes it's good to let off that button so when you do have to undo, you don't go back so far. Kind of like an Oreo cookie. Almost. flip that. Ooh, we gotta add alpha channel. Don't forget the alpha channel. Oops, damn it. Focus, man, focus. I'm getting a cordless mouse soon here, folks. This wire is killing me. You know what? I'll just clone stamp the rest of it. I don't really need all that, but I did want to have it. Hey, be careful when you clone stamp. You'll end up with mud. You know what I mean? If you've done it, you don't want mud. Alright, let's try that. Let's map tile seamless. Alright. And that's got to be scaled to 2K since it's going to be in the base map. Alright. Export as road break 1. Let's see what's this going to be. Let's put it in our terrains folder. Or you don't have to put it there, but that's. You can't use DDS either, by the way, for PBR. JPEGs or PNGs. Alright. So let's put that base color in there. Road broke. Now, I don't know if this will turn out. If you got this far, then it did. Road broke. Road broke. What the hell did I name it? Oh, I forgot what I named it. Oh, I put it in the wrong folder. Put it in my backup that's on the desktop. It ain't gonna show up there. Nope. See, 2048 by 2048. Base texture 2048 by 2048. Now, this is the ultra lazy way. I'm just going to reuse the same image for the ambient occlusion map. That's really a lazy way of doing it, but it'll work. Because you got to have at least an ambient occlusion and at least a base color to see anything. If you didn't have the ambient occlusion, you'd see something. It'd be black though. It would be black. You wouldn't see it. Let's save changes to file, and let's. If you've noticed, sometimes it adds the texture with an extra number that you know you didn't name it that. Just ignore that. Just pick the one that you know you named. I don't know why it does it. Oh. Need to change the scale. Let's try 8 to start with. Alright. Now you kind of can see where I'm going with that, right? Now that don't look good like that. It's going to probably take more work. I've had a lot of ideas. This probably isn't one of the better ones. But I think you can see what I was trying to get what I was trying to go for anyway. Road to decal. Let's change that. Oh, road to decal. Let's make it blend better. I don't know. Maybe it works. And see stuff like the sides. That's where you gotta just kind of use your imagination to help blend things. Not that I would put a big snowball there, but kind of give you an idea, like what I'm talking about. You know, you just give it the illusion that there's something there, even if it's not a snowball or something. Maybe it's the rocks. Anything to help. Because the more things your eyes get distracted looking at, the less they focus on the overall. You know, maybe an asset can't be improved. Maybe it's all that it's going to be and that's it. Well, the way you take away from it is to, well, have something else more obvious. Like say a person has a big nose and it's like a foot long. No, it wouldn't be a foot. Just say they got a really large, toucan beak for a nose and they wanted to mask it, hide it, make it not so obvious. Well, they would do something else to take the attention off the nose. Maybe that would be making some pink hair or some maybe add this big crazy tattoo next to it. It says, "Look at me, don't look at that." See, that's what we're doing. We're just making something to take away from what's lacking. And like I said, this is just one thing. There's probably better ways to do it. And we can maybe put some little sticks in the ground under there. I think I need something else here. find a stick. I think it's on this one. I may have to remake the stick. Is it in here? Hell no. No, it's not. It's in the one that I deleted. This probably will not work. This didn't turn out good. This icicle. That was just an attempt to make an icicle. Terrible, isn't it? That'd be great if I was making a tornado made of ice. And it looks good, I think. But not as an icicle, it doesn't. Let's see what else we got. Ain't no telling what all I have. Brown rock, maybe that'll work. I think this is the million polygon rock that I was messing around with. Even though it's reduced. Levels of detail, it's still got a lot of polys. It's too bright for this scene. It would not work. Ambient occlusion way off for that. But maybe, just maybe. I gotta turn off. I think I need to turn off. Telling it not to cast the shadows or to inherit shadows. I didn't finish this one. I did render the normals though, so let's see how they look with the normals. You know, one thing I would like them to add is the ability to like lock your selection, so you don't accidentally unclick it and then have to. It can be aggravating when you're making things and you have to go hunt for it again because sometimes things get in the way. It's got alpha transparencies and it can be a hassle to reacquire the object. Alright, I think it's coming along. At the cost of about, how many polys is that damn thing? 312 at that lot. 125 at lot 2. Man, that's a shitty damn BB auto billboard there. And 5,000. Yeah, that's a lot of polys, but you know, it's not like they're all over the map. We just use them for this little area. And I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else really that could make this any better or worse. Maybe there's a piece of road down there that is part of that broke off. I don't think this will look good, but we'll see. Let's just see. What is the width of that road? 7.25. There's a good chance when that road broke, the line ain't gonna be facing the same way. Alright. lost my damn object again. If I could lock the thing, it would be so much better. And maybe the icicle will go there. The one I had earlier. Something's off with the damn normals. I think I got them, well, I got them inverted. I didn't mean to. But the object's inside out. That'll be alright, I reckon. It's not. It's not perfect. which one it is. I'm trying to fix that one. It was bugging my eye looking at it. Alright, the hell with that. I ain't gonna fool with it. My icicles don't look right. They would never grow that way. Unless the wind was blowing like, well, it'd have to be blowing a lot. Maybe it was. And maybe, there's a little bitty bit of water there that's froze. Now, how do you do frozen water? Well, you turn off the ripples speed, because frozen water don't move. And it wouldn't have waves either. Alright, let's scale these a bit. And mess with the distortion. That's too much reflectivity. Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on with that. That's a alert problem, or what the hell's it called? I know what I'm thinking. I'm not sure which. Oh, I know, it's a damn decal. It's that decal. I used the negative, I believe. Nope. That's not the decal. Maybe it's the rock. You know what? I don't know. I don't know right now. I'm not worrying about it. I'll worry about it later. Now, if you put the car on top of that, it's going to sink. So if you want it to be like ice, you're going to have to make it have ice properties. The density, let's make that like 100,000. You know, I don't know why when like you're in the world editor, somehow the manual transmission gets engaged. I always notice that it's something. I'm not sure what goes on with that, but yeah, I don't know that I like that texture either. I had done a few things with it to kind of mess with it here and there, and I don't think this is gonna be the. This ain't gonna be the final look of it. Nah, damn, I gotta figure that out. I'm not sure what I did. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. Hmm. Damn. Bugging me. It is the water causing it. But it shouldn't be. I don't think clouds have anything to do with it. So, what the hell did I do? That's a new water block. I don't think. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not that. Look at that. I fixed the problem.